I was raised Catholic, but I wouldn't call myself religious today. I had never heard of mega churches or televangelism until I stumbled across an infamous interview. A journalist confronts Kenneth Copeland about his private jets. Copeland says he doesn't fly commercial because he doesn't want to get into a long tube with a bunch of demons. This preacher is worth hundreds of millions. He owns a fleet of jets, mansions, a boathouse, and his own airport. And he's just one of many preachers bragging about 22 chandeliers in their houses for $54 million. Imagine how many homeless could have shelter. But when I think of church, this isn't what comes to mind. What we're witnessing is the mega church phenomenon, churches with 2,000 plus members. The Bible has verses about wealth that weren't exactly favorable. So what am I seeing here? Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis, Benny Hinn filling stadiums claiming to perform miracles, Joel Osteen hosting Kanye West, Creflo Dollar with 2 Rolls Royces. There is even an Instagram called Preachers in Sneakers showing what these guys wear and how much it costs. Something isn't right. How can you be this braggadocious about wealth as a preacher and have followers not only okay with it but funding it? That's when I found out about the prosperity gospel. The word of faith movement, the prosperity gospel. Simple idea. God wants you prosperous in finances, health, relationships. It all belongs to you through faith. They call believers little gods because we're made in God's image. Possess divinity, can manifest prosperity. Sounds amazing. How do you access it? Faith first, then tithing. Traditionally, tithing meant giving 1/10 to a religious organization like charity. But prosperity gospel twisted it. You exchange money for prosperity. They call it sowing your seed. Give us money, get it back multiplied. Sow a $1,000 seed and someone's son will be freed from alcohol. It's surreal and generates millions. January 2008, Kenneth Copeland Ministries got a Gulfstream jet funded by donors. They blogged thanking followers for helping harvest the Gulfstream, then asked for $17 million more for hangars and runways. Creflo Dollar literally asked his congregation to fundraise for his $65 million private jet to applause. This isn't met with criticism, it's celebrated. The wealth isn't hypocrisy. It's proof the system works. The extravagant lifestyle is the feature, not a bug. I don't care if they buy jets, I care how they generate the money. If you give $10, go to $20, then $70, $100. Watch what God will do. This is the law of attraction wrapped in religion, rooted in 19th century New Thought philosophy. Joel Osteen isn't a preacher. He's a motivational speaker using God as proxy. His bestseller, Your Best Life Now, says, "It is not God's lack of resources preventing you from prospering. Your wrong thinking can pure self-help disguised as theology. But telling people to donate money and God will pay their rent? That's stomach churning. And it's being exported globally. Nigeria's David Oyedepo is worth $150 million. When told his net worth, he said that's an insult. Too small. Do they know what they're doing? Part of me believes Copeland and Dollar think they're doing good. Even for hundreds of millions, I can't imagine knowingly deceiving people without going insane. But I'll never know their intentions, only the consequences. And you haven't seen the worst yet. Benny Hinn's miracle crusades. He brings sick people on stage, touches them. They fall back caught by catchers. The crowd cheers. But what's really happening? Hinn, Benny's nephew, worked as a catcher and came forward in 2017. The responsibility is to look blessed, sell the narrative, make the money. If you do what I say, God will do it for you too. He described living in a 10,000 sqf mansion, 2 Mercedes, exotic vacations. Grace Brulard, 8 years old, wanted to walk. Her mom brought her to Hinn's crusade. Just before the stage, screeners stopped her. Their job? Screen out the severely sick. Justin Peters, born with cerebral palsy, was also screened out. Why? If really sick people don't get healed on stage, it breaks the illusion. In a 2001 HBO documentary, they followed Ashneel, a 10-year-old with brain tumors in a vegetative state. His parents brought him to Hinn. We're expecting a miracle. Hinn laid hands on him. Days later, Ashneel wasn't healed. 7 weeks later, he died. His father wasn't discouraged. I know it's God's plan. In September 2019, Benny Hinn announced he's leaving the prosperity gospel. Prosperity has gone crazy.